time. But I love hearing about the business, and I know that a lot of our agents are winning right now. What in terms of our committees and in terms of like kind of what we're doing as an ALC, is there anything in particular that we've either accomplished or that we need to accomplish, that's something that's like been on our to-do list or our must-do list or our wish list that we need to get any energy around?
Education and training has two things. The first one is I spoke to Ali about anybody who's a teacher being added to the education and training committee so that I'm not the only person on it.
Okay.
And
so I would like to make a connection to Fran from Johnstown. Fran is actually a tremendous resource. She's been a $10 to $15 million agent for years. And she has expressed to me an interest in even getting her like ability to teach CE and like more formal real estate education.
yes.
So I already had it on my agenda I'm going to do career visioning with her when I get back. And when I do that, I'd like to make an introduction to the education and training committee, if that works.
Yes, that would be wonderful. And Ali just pointed out to me that basically everybody on productivity and tech, it's like we should just combine these two, which I think we discussed at one point in time.
Yeah.
You know, combining productivity, tech, education, and training all as one committee. I don't know if that's too much under one umbrella, Joe, but the only other thing that I was going to throw out there is that our laptop is so slow. I've tried to use my own Surface Pro over Zoom, and my Surface Pro can't handle it. It just can't handle it. And I got a $1,300 Surface Pro, but it just can't run command fast enough over Zoom. It's Zoom and the internet speed that slows down the laptop.
Okay.
So at our new office, if we're really going to teach over Zoom, we want to make sure we have the highest speed internet, and we might need a faster processor in our educational machine. And those are the only other suggestion I have.
I factory reset this laptop last week. So
Yes.
it should work now, because, you know, before, if I was trying to play music over Spotify while also running Zoom, it would like lose its mind, but it was able to successfully do that, I
Good.
feel.
So
this
I'll
time.
test it at 2:30.
Yeah.
If we have people in PC class today, we'll have people in command class after, and we'll do another test of it today.
Yeah. So it's still like, you know, not the fastest thing in the world, but it's definitely, I think, a very noticeable improvement, and is actually like doable now. So I think that was good.
I want to see how command runs it.
Yeah. That also reminds me I have to download all the files that I uploaded to the cloud. I have to download them onto a USB drive just in case, because there was just so much random stuff on this laptop.
Yeah.
So
Gotta go through it.
yeah. But yeah, I feel like we should probably just get started now, even though we have a very small group.
Yeah.
So I think we should start with kind of reviewing the action items from last month's ALC. And that can also kind of be in conjunction with reviewing the minutes from last month's meeting. So for the action items, this was assigned to me, was to update roster to go out monthly. I have to add one or two of the agents that we just onboarded, but it's more or less up to date, and I just need to write myself a reminder to send out the roster at the top of every month, like when I send out the newsletter, or not the newsletter, the calendar, just so everyone has it. But I know that because Ali and Jayla were doing care calls, I did print out the rosters for them so they could be doing outreach. Then I know for Eva, It was the financial report. And so I know that she did meet with Doug and Jayla last month to go over those. And from what I gleaned of it is that it was a fairly positive and encouraging kind of overview that they went through. Pittsburgh Magazine information was also assigned to Eva. I know that we're going to kind of put on hold until we get into the new building, like an office post into the Pittsburgh Mag, but you know, Chris is doing one for her Moonstone, and so it's like, so you know, agents are, we kind of just realized after the Pittsburgh Magazine meeting that we had last month that, you know, like individual agents or teams, if they want to, you know, be in the magazine sooner, that's awesome. But like just for wanting the new office to be complete and like presentable, and not wanting it to be like under construction because, you know, that feels like unfinished, that maybe we wait and then do something as like a grand opening in one of their, you know, late summer, early fall issues, and then hit it really, really hard in spring of 2023. That way, you know, we can continue to stay top of mind in Pittsburgh Mag, and being able to show our story of, you know, that we are really turning a new chapter and that like we're being successful and that we, you know, are kind of like the place to be and as like the new modern inclusive brokerage for both agents and for potential clients. So I think that's kind of like ultimately the decision that we came to for it. I know, Joe, that you weren't a part of any of those kind of conversations like in the moment, but so I guess maybe just your input on that, but that's kind of like how I feel. That's kind of the general consensus that we came to, if you're okay with not being in it, you know, right away for the
Yeah, I think there's because I'm looking at it from like the cost benefit weight, right? So I like the idea of it. I'd like us to we're probably going to have Lindsay come back out. We've just had too much of the audio was not good for those mini videos. Actually, Mary, I have one edited for you that I'm going to send out to you. So I think Mary, I think yours actually turned out good. We had one spot of audio that ended up with a little clipping, but otherwise it's mostly good. So I'll send that to you. But I think in conjunction with that would be more of a multimedia approach to telling our story. For me, I'm looking at like getting into the summer months where we generally are going to have more revenue, and then Johnstown and Altoona are both contributing more to our revenue as a market center, which makes us more financially healthy for investments on some more experimental things. So that's part of it. The other aspect is that I'm also looking at probably getting office-wide lead generation that I'm going to start to pay for, and I'm stewing over exactly how that's going to go. But to me, that in conjunction with Pittsburgh Magazine, which would be more of a, you know, top of mind awareness, as you said, Alana, I think those will go hand in hand really nicely together. So for me, for the lead gen, I might go with search engine optimization and Facebook. So there's advantages and disadvantages to different lead gen sources. One would be going down the Zillow route, where we just pay for Zillow, we get Zillow leads to the market center, and we distribute those at probably a 50-50 split. That would be one avenue. And then the other avenue would be as an office doing, you know, kind of getting an enhanced website and then building that with search engine optimization and PPC. And that would lead to traffic. But the reality of that is that we see that the conversion rate on that is somewhere between 1% and 4%. So the disadvantage being that your agents are going to get a lot of crappy leads, or not even leads at all, really just like online contacts, right? So it's good for more top of mind awareness, and it makes you feel like you're getting leads, but are you really? So, so I just want to be very real and transparent about that as I'm looking at it from the operating standpoint in terms of where I want to head with those things. That's my take.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
think,
I support Pittsburgh Mag for like second half of the year. I think in the late spring into summer, let's get settled in the office. Let's get artwork on the walls. Let's have a vibe to it, right? And then let's really invite that story to get bigger and bigger. I think we are excited about the fact like doors are going to open one of these days, right? Yay! But like the reality of it is like let's make sure we do it right.
yeah, absolutely. I agree. Okay, cool. I think also probably not this week unless I happen to go on Friday when I don't work, but I do want to head to or have someone out at the new office just to double check progress because it was, you know, Joe, you were the last person to go out there. And so, you know, it's been a couple weeks now. So I'd like to like, you know, get more stuff and kind of just like get a feel for it and be able to continue to share a story. Because even there's
So Jackie was out Thursday.
Oh,
Yep. And Jackie was out Thursday and bathroom plumbing going in. And just for the record, they do not want anybody going without a hard hat, and they want during office hours of 8 to 4, and do not enter in via the lockbox. If so, try to enter while they're there, and just be very attentive to like where they're working in the office, so that if anybody goes over there. So I would just ask that we keep that number of people very limited. So if one person like Alana, if you want to run down there, make sure that you fit the hard hat out, and then run down there and grab a couple of pictures or whatever for updates. That's cool. I will be back out next week, and I do intend to do a site visit. And I won't be there long, but I was going to go and grab a couple more pictures and all that. So.
okay, cool.
Hi, Joe. Thank you for editing that video and sending it over to me. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
At the last ALC meeting, we talked about doing, you know, prior to the grand opening, doing somewhat of a cohesive photo shoot where we can bring the agents in. Maybe we all have on our red, black, and white, and do a photo shoot and just start building up content now for the grand opening. So once it launches, we already have tons of content to blast, or maybe even a video.
Absolutely. So Scott Lane, I've been in some conversation with Scott Lane, one of our agents who owns the drone company, about doing some video content. Right now, while like the stage they're in construction is a little, speaking of construction, they're doing something with the concrete truck here if you hear beeping. The right now in construction is a little tough to get that content. I think within the next couple of weeks, it's probably going to ease up and we'll be able to do a lot more. And I 100% am committed to paying for, we can get Allie's photographer friend. And I'm 100% committed to doing cohesive photos in the new spot, black, red, all the stuff, individuals, groups, teams, the whole deal. We'll get her for like 4 hours and we'll really make that a big deal. I will do that on my dime. I think that's an awesome idea.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, so yeah, awesome. Great progress. I'm just going to try and mow through the other action items that we talked about. I was supposed to reach out to the queer community to kind of broaden our diversity, equity, inclusion. I've not done that just because of other things kind of taking a bit more of a priority, but I do have a few different community organizations that I do know of that I can reach out to. And I was thinking about maybe doing something for Red Day, but Ali and I did come up with kind of, I think, maybe something that would be easier for everybody to both participate in and then also to help a broader sense of the Pittsburgh community. And then I'll just talk about that a little bit later as well. I know Deanna said that she wanted to bring up and remind agents that they can donate to KW Cares with their commission. And so I kind of have an idea for a script that I want to use, because I don't want to use it during after I've given closing paperwork, because at that point, you know, like your opportunity should already be submitted in command, and it's kind of a little too late to be like, oh, do you like, I know that you just submitted your commission already, but do you want to donate anything to KW Cares? But I think during, like, when I receive hand money for properties, because I do email the receipt and a copy of the check to agents, maybe like create a script for that and basically be like, oh yeah, like congratulations, you know, everyone's excited that, you know, you're gonna close soon. And like, remember, like you can donate to KW Cares at that as well. And then maybe be like, and then like put something in the, when I do close finally, or when I do send out the closing documents, be like, oh, like, did you donate? Like, just let me know, and I'll like feature you in the newsletter. So then we can have like a feel good section, you know, a part of like big wins or something in the newsletter, basically being like, oh, thank you so much to all our agents who both closed and then also donated to KW Cares, and then just like list them out. Because I don't want to put dollar amounts in it, because that just gets, you know, that I don't think that's necessary, but like just like a feel good section that, you know, that other agents see that like their peers are, you know, like committed to like KW and outreach and stuff like that.
So Amanda, can I put something in here? I think, you know, yeah, I'm very down with people donating to KW Cares, but people must really understand what KW Care is, right? Like how, you know, how does if someone in the office, you know, with an auto accident, have a family emergency, how that plays a role back to the agent, you know, but just saying, you know, donate, you know, you understand what I'm saying? Versus, you know, like why it's important to donate.
Yeah.
So maybe in the script, when you receive the hand money, I don't think that's a bad idea. Maybe the script say, you know, we received your hand money, thank you so much. Hey, did you know, KW Cares? And I'm sure there's somewhere, I know something just went out last month about who they've helped in the, you know, this past month, KW Cares went to help whatever family. You can make an impact by donating at your closing, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I think that's excellent.
Yeah, so it's not like, hey, you should donate
Yeah.
just because, but be like, this is the way that you can directly impact and be a positive influence, yeah, for the rest of the KW family. Yeah. All right, so I will work on that still. We're almost at the end of our action items. Deanna and I were supposed to reach out to either Ricardo or Chris from DEI to potentially set up like something for the market center surrounding diversity, equity, and inclusion. I know that I haven't done that, but I was thinking that, you know, maybe we could do like a late spring, early summer, maybe, and invite one of them to come to like the office, hopefully the new office, and, you know, like talk about a bit more in depth about, you know, like the importance of like DEI and, you know, the ways that us as agents can influence, you know, the spheres that our peers are a part of. Because I know that they're both, I know like for specifically Chris Legrad, he is really interested and he loves like going out to other market centers and kind of like doing something like that. So
I could maybe make a call to Chris. He's a friend of mine from Maps.
oh, cool. Well, there you go. So yeah, so
Chris and I got stuck in an airport for 6 hours together. We're pretty tight.
oh man. Oh, for flying out.
When we were back in Maps, we used to spend a lot of time together. So very nice guy. And if I make a call, I can probably get it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that would be awesome. Because like, I am obviously new to like the KW family, but like I didn't even like realize that like as a part of the Y4C2Ts, I hope I said that correctly, that equity was added like during the events that happened over 2020. And so I really appreciate that, like, it like was both like indoctrinated into like our core values, but then also that as a company that it has been maintained and is active, and it's not just like a performative piece. So I think that like even spreading that as a part of our story, like especially, because we are a very diverse market center, just like keeping that aware, then like we could even attract other agents through that as well. And then, yeah, so that's cool. For Doug, it was to refine and send out the onboarding checklist and kind of like process to, our top agents, just so they know what it looks like. And so then when, if someone like shows an interest in potentially moving to KW, that we can kind of walk them through and be like, oh yeah, it's a breeze, the XYZ is all you have to do, and kind of like that kind of stuff. That was assigned to Doug. Obviously he's in Texas as well, but I know that
so we just finished that rebuild on the onboard process.
Awesome.
Right, yep. So I think we really just finished last week, and so I'll get with Doug to make sure that a copy of that's able to go out. We also have internally, I have a document that like I can send to if you have like a mega agent recruit or a capper recruit, somebody who's got a decent amount of production. I have like a full transition checklist. So it's not just their onboarding checklist, but it's also the things of like, hey, if you're thinking of making a move, these are the things to think about, right? Rebranding your YouTube, rebranding your Facebook, getting your business cards ordered, like all of those basic things. So, and it actually has timelines of when to do that. So like 2 weeks out, you make sure your business cards are ordered so that they're there in time for your move and that kind of stuff. So I have that, I have those types of things available. And if anybody ever wants to see that, or has a recruit or a mega agent or somebody that you want me to have that conversation with, I'd be happy to sit down with you or the recruit and go over that so you can see what we have.
Awesome. That's really great. So yeah, I guess if anyone has anyone interested who isn't at KW yet, then we can get that set up. And yeah, then the last one was ideas for pep rally. Obviously the pep rally has already happened. I guess as one of the planners for the attendees, I maybe would like some feedback on how you think it went. It was a long day.
So the highlight for me is when the hired Hannah agent walked in. That was the highlight. So I mean, it was the highlight. So we're all gathered around the front desk. We're laughing, we're giggling, and this older gentleman walks in. And he says, "Can I see the manager?" So Doug is behind the desk. We point to Doug. He said, "Hi, forget his name. I work hired Hannah. I see y'all's looking for a new office, and I'm here to help." Well, we all looked at each other like, huh? So he's like, explain to him we have a new office, this, that, and the other. When he walked out, I said, "Oh, right?"
But you were trying to recruit the whole office.
He was trying to recruit.
He was trying to help us find the office, right? His office.
So we all looked at Doug and all busted out laughing. I said, "Doug, there's our new recruit." Right. Opened the door, came in. I said, "Oh," he was like, "Oh, I heard y'all's kind of move." We all looked at each other like, we went from laughing with each other like, did this hired Hannah agent just walk in our door recruiting to move us?
That was the best.
Oh, it was so funny, but the whole day was just phenomenal to me. I think with a lot of great bonding. Yes, it was really great.
Yeah. What about you as a last minute teacher, Chris?
Yeah, I missed 90% of it, but I was happy to come in and teach the last session, and I was happy that people were here for it. That felt good, and I thought that it was organized real well, and I thought you guys did a real nice job raising money.
Woo! Yeah, actually, Juliet Hill is working on getting her ABR.
Yeah.
And so definitely, I know that
Influenced her.
yeah, she was,
She's such a doll.
yeah, she is. She's so sweet. But yeah, so she was inspired by you. So I think that's really awesome that, that is like a direct result of the pep rally. So definitely good, warm and fuzzies.
Good stuff.
Mhm.
And I add in from the ALC care calls, I've been reaching out to everyone every week, once a week. The feedback from the pep rally was amazing. That the week following was the most interaction that I have gotten from the list of people. And generally the overall consensus was the breakdown sessions were key, and that's what everyone really loved and looked forward to having tomorrow.
That's awesome.
And can I say something on Ollie's behalf? That is part of, I guess, my downline. And Ollie reached out to her, and it really picked her spirits up, but she was feeling like a little left out, but left in, but left out. And Ollie had called her and just made her day.
That's sweet.
That's awesome. I love that. I want to put it on your radar. I had mentioned this on my top. Sorry, I just killed a bug. On my top 20% call. I'm gonna run a lead gen workshop next week for all of our agents who have been in production. So ALC members, top 20%, anybody who's in production and has sold a home so far this year. We're gonna have a workshop while I'm out there, and I'm leaning into the, I think our training calendar is good. Somebody actually just made an aha moment in the breakout here. And they said that we need to stop thinking of it like training, like for us to train them, but thinking of it in terms of what actions we want out of our agents and what actions we want that will benefit the market center and the businesses. And that's what we train to. So it's a training for a purpose. And it's like, we're not just talking at them, we're like working together. And that, I think, so my idea for the lead generation workshop on my next visit is to live up to what I said I would do with our ALC top agent calls, but also our ALC and top 20% calls. It's that, but also to do that. It's to get action, right? Because I think lead generation is the topic that keeps coming up. It's a pain point for everybody who wants to make money. So let's just really dive into like, what are the specific strategies around that? And I have some things that I can show you guys that I can bring from the lead generation work that I do, that I think will add a lot of value. So that's, I'm going to put that on the calendar for next week. As I get to my room tonight, I'm going to be working on my calendar for next week, and I'll let you guys know exactly when that's going to be. And so we keep an eye out for that. I have to hop off. I'm gonna go back in. I feel like I'm missing out on having FOMO in there. Can somebody shoot me an email with the red day plan, please, by the end of ALC today? Let's make sure we've got that buttoned up, because that is fast approaching. Does anybody need anything from me?
I don't think so.
Okay. If you guys hit into the meeting and you have any asks or anything that you need my help on, don't hesitate to just shoot me a note. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. All right. I'll see you.
All right. Okay, well, at least we got through all the action items. So let's focus and transition to topics of discussion. So I guess there isn't really anything to like approve for the March minutes. Or like really, well, I guess so. I will adopt an outreach plan for KW Cares in my email templates. That's something that I will adopt. Also making sure that I do actually, send out the updated roster every month. And Joe's gonna reach out to Chris with DEI, which I think would be really awesome. And just double check with Doug and get our onboarding checklist sent out to everyone in the ALC, just so we know what the new expectation is for incoming agents, and also the updated process that we have for onboarding. Cool. All right. Red Day plans. I did mention it a little bit earlier. I think that for Red Day, I will also preface this with, I've never done a Red Day before. My understanding of it is that it is a day where agents are dedicated to reaching out and doing volunteer and community work within the community. So I guess before I start, is that
Hi.
is
Yeah,
that an
that's
accurate representation?
correct.
Okay, cool. So on that note, I think that we could sign up and work with 412 Food Rescue. They are a community outreach group that does that partners with local like restaurants and grocery stores, like food surplus people. So if they happen to have any food that they can't sell, but is still like completely viable, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Like maybe if there was like a catering order that fell through, you know, like you have like all of this food, and so now it's like, okay, well, like maybe it's like you should probably eat it within the next few days. But what they do is the restaurant or the grocery store can put into the 412 Food Rescue app, be like, hey, if anyone is available to pick up this delivery of food, like so then you can drive to the grocery store, you know, put it in your car, and then 412 Food Rescue will be like, that's awesome, there is a soup kitchen that would love to take this. And so then you basically are like a little Uber driver. And so then you pick it up and then you drop it off, you know, like maybe like a women's shelter, like a food bank, or a soup kitchen. And so you can like track it because they have an app, and so it has all over the city. So it's like downtown, you know, like suburbs. So they have everything. So I think maybe for Red Day, we could do like a friendly competition or challenge for our agents, because it tracks how many deliveries you've done. Maybe see like whoever can do the most delivery, you know, we can celebrate them in some way. But I also think that because it's more mobile and able to be stretched out, you know, like if someone, you know, lives in Monroeville, they can focus on Monroeville, and you know, if someone happens to be in downtown, then they can do something in downtown. Or so it's like you can almost like choose the different pickup areas.
So I'm not gonna cut you off, but food 412.
412, yeah.
They have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Right, and I think from previous is that what we were looking for is like the East End Co-op, like helping where like normally they plant flowers, but like one year we did the East End Co-op. We helped like pack for people within the community, pack them boxes to take. We served homeless people, right? Yeah, I think that has a bigger impact than the 412. You know?
In this specific community.
Yeah, in any community. I mean, it doesn't have to be the East End Co-op, you know, it could be the Salvation Army, you know. But something that has a bigger impact, you know, yeah.
Because I know another like thing that 412 Food Rescue does is if they get, you know, surplus or like bulk food, you can volunteer and help them sort them into like grocery bags, so then they can drop it off to like food banks, or have it delivered to like a general area where people can just pick it up, and so then they can, you know, if Costco had a surplus of, you know, chickens or apples or something. But yeah, so I guess, I don't know, but yeah, so I guess the thing that I was wanting, or like maybe hoped would have more people participate in, is if there was like a potentially on your own time type of thing.
Right.
Or
That's it.
like, you know, if people wanted to do like teams and like drive around together or something.
I mean, I'll support anything,
Yeah.
but, I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't driving around. I ain't driving right now, so
That's
that's
fair.
not gonna be me, you know?
Yeah, that's fair, that's
Yeah.
fair.
So I think, giving people options,
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Well,
maybe,
I'll
but
tell
it's
you-
just like, how do we? So I just left the event, right?
Mhm.
It was bankers and real estate agents and, the hired handlers and all of that. It's like their name is out there.
Mhm.
How do we use Red Day or any day to be out there?
I watch Howard Hanna's commercial every week, every day. And every week I say to myself, why am I not at Howard Hanna? Because they advertise every week, which is what's driving me to spend money. And I know that Red Day is all about giving back, and I know that some people feel awkward about using it for publicity. I'm not one of those people. But I will say that I feel like it's not enough. So when I came to Keller Williams and heard about Red Day and found out that it was once a year, I told Stephanie that I didn't think that was enough give back time. And so I
No, I agree.
volunteered at the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank, which is why I always put them up for suggestion for charities. And I donate and I deliver food for them once a month.
Mhm.
Now, I do that every month. Their system's already set up. We volunteer to help them. We show up, they load the boxes, we download the app, the list is on the app, we deliver 7. We did it, okay? It's already done.
Mhm.
We could put 3 people in a car and do it as a team, or we could do it as singles. The only disadvantage I see for us right now on that is the price of gas. But.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop me from doing my Red Day every month.
Mhm.
So, because people still need food. So I do like the idea of delivering food, however we do it, I don't really care.
Okay.
But I think that's a nice idea, and I think people still need it.
They
You know,
do.
still need it. And I think you have a good point. I think not everybody's available to team up just because it's Red Day, because unfortunately, clients don't stop asking us to show them homes even though it's Red Day.
Mhm.
And so a lot of us are trying to get more deals, and we're not saying no to those people, obviously. So we might be fitting in Red Day with work,
Yeah.
right? And if we can give folks an opportunity where they can fit it in with work, that would be good, because then they might do it.
Mhm.
I mean, all my people work. They're all at work all day. They're all part-timers,
Oh, yeah.
all my people. So the thing that stinks about the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank is you gotta be there at a certain time. We gotta fit ourselves into their program.
Mhm.
So if you show up at 11, they'll give you boxes to deliver, but if you're late,
They don't have anything.
they've allocated them all out.
Okay.
So it's not real flexible.
Mhm.
And we did that too,
No.
like we split up. Justin's team did the food bank. And then some of us went over and planted flowers with the management company. And then some people went to the East and Co-op, so.
So maybe have like a variety of things that people could do.
Maybe 3 things that they could plug into.
Yeah,
They
like.
could deliver food for these people.
Mhm.
They could beautify the park with this group or
Mhm.
whatever, Hey, girl,
Hello.
how'd it go? Did you get it? Yes, girl. Get that listing. Woo-hoo! Candy Pastor State, y'all.
Yay!
That's
She
awesome.
missed her national by 9 points.
Oh,
And then she went in with the flu though.
okay.
Oh.
So I was on a KWYP call last week.
Yeah.
And the topic was Red Day, and so it was just a ton of marketing centers talking about their Red Day. Now, a lot of their market centers are a lot bigger, and so that's my concern with our market center and doing multiple things.
Right.
Is you're gonna have 1 or 2 people show up, and it's just gonna look like a joke and be embarrassing to that organization. That's my concern. But some ideas that were presented was, finding a local nursing home or something of that nature, cleaning it up, planting flowers. There's the Lemieux family house, cleaning up their outside or planting flowers, whatever they need. There was a day at the library where they just did whatever, the librarians needed. If there was, I agree that local makes a big impact. It hurts my whole soul when the house across the street has a Berkshire sign in it, and we're literally right here. There's a blood drive, something to do with an animal shelter, packing boxes of food, whatever. Some market centers are just doing a walk for, you know, like a 5K, getting together, doing a walk for. I know that's what happened in 2020, I believe. They did a virtual 5K, and then donating money that way. So those were physical things that people were doing. And then some of them had just gone the route as fundraising, and they've done different things that are going to be huge that I don't even think that we could possibly do, such as like a yard sale or something or other. But there was a raffle idea, which it might be too short of notice, but they had their sponsors donate something. The example was somebody sponsored donated a patio set, and they do it through Facebook Live, and they have people buy tickets. It's $10 a ticket. They'll sell a total of 200 for that. They ended up raising $7,000 just for that patio set, and then someone bought a $10 ticket and they won it. So that was one idea.
Do they advertise that to the public?
Yes,
Yeah.
so it's through the outward facing Facebook page, and then we all would have to go tell our people, hey, go like our office's Facebook page, you have a chance to buy a $10 ticket and win a patio set, which also gets traffic through our Facebook page. And then another idea that they presented was to work with a local restaurant that would donate some of their proceeds to a charity. For example, I know in our area, our local PTA works with Chipotle all the time. And during 3 to 6, if you go and buy something at Chipotle, they'll donate 20% of their proceeds to whatever we choose.
We did that too. We did it through the consensus group. One of the local churches did it, and it works out real well.
And so even that, you know, we want to donate our money on Red Day to KW Cares, and we go to Chipotle, and then Chipotle advertises it. They make a little flyer, and we blast it everywhere. Hey guys, go to Chipotle today, and they'll donate to whatever. So those were just one idea was a car wash. I don't want to wash any cars. So those were just some ideas taken away from YP for Red Day. Now it is May 12th. Which is a month. Exactly 1 month. So I think really like we need to decide, you know, we're gonna reach out to East Info or whoever, a library or a nursing home or whatever, like we need to reach out to them and get, you know.
So I like your idea for the library, to tell you why. Our office is 4 doors. Our new office is 4 doors down.
It's just in our new community.
From the library.
I love that.
And that will like start like boiling the water of us relocating.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean?
Here.
Yep, we're right here, we have our KW shirts on, you know, we know the Dewey Decimal System. Somebody asked me years ago, did you work at the Library of Congress, the Dewey Decimal System? But I was doing community outreach, but I think that would be great, you know? I don't know how many programs, like years ago, they would have different programs, you know, during the day, right? But just our presence there, helping them check out books. This library has a real friendly kids room, right? And the goal is right, it's right there. Our office is right there. You know,
I think that would be really good because also, you know, Keller Williams is very education, pro book, you know, like, yeah, basically, I think that's really good because it turns back to, you know, like, you know, everyone, you know, there's so many Keller Williams books, and it is, you know, education based that I think doing that for the community itself. And then also, yeah, like basically the introduction of being like, hey, you know, we're moving in right down here. Yeah.
We're
Let's work together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just.
what day does Red Day fall on?
And I'm not against the marketing piece. So that's the one thing about driving individually. I would love to see, it's a Thursday.
So, and I'll
groups
double
so we
check.
can take some pictures.
I think the church across the street from the library, that's the day they serve the homeless, but I'm not sure they used to,
Okay,
but that was pre-COVID.
yeah.
So, I mean, it could be
Oh, that
we're
would
right
be
across the
awesome.
street from
A
each other,
block
right?
party.
Yeah.
You know, and
Shut
it
down
can
the
still
road.
go with like giving out some food or, you know, or whatever, right? And we're right there.
2 for 1. You
Yeah.
got that down.
I'll look into the library and then also like go on the church website and see
Yeah,
if when, because, you know, I mean, it's a month out, but I think even like, if they happen to still do it on Thursdays, I hope they do. You know, we could even do like a mini food drive as well, within our agents before that, so then like, you know, they can go to it at the, like, the church and be like, yeah, like, here's extra food, or like, you know, like, if they need anything, or if, you know, they're consistently lacking, you know, like, maybe like fresh produce or fruit, be able to bring that to them.
yeah, we can do that. And also on Thursdays, in the Lawner area, they give away fresh foods and stuff from 1 to 3, right? So, yeah. So it'd be something like we could check around locally, but I really do like that library.
Yeah.
That's good.
Guys, I gotta go. I didn't think I was gonna make it. Yeah, it's fine. It was like,
That's why you can't drive around for a day.
it was fine. Got Lawrence from Mount Washington. I thought you could go over the hill this way. You can't. You go into the apartment building, but you can't go over the hill. Yeah, but I think that's a great idea.
Awesome.
One quick question, and I'll have my glasses on. Yesterday in Iran, Gary talked about this low non-producing agent. I read it a little bit. I didn't read the whole full article, but I think that's something that maybe I don't know how to address it or how to approach it, but it must be a major concern to him. Because if you go into the Iran magazine, he has a topic about this, but I didn't continue reading it because you know, other things came up. I wasn't being a color wilderness reader. Yeah, but I think that's something maybe.
So what I can say towards the low non-producing agent is Alana did give us a list of the people in the past year who didn't have any production and the people whose production was 5 or lower. And of those people consecutively for the past month, I have reached out 1 time per week. One person has said, please stop. So that's that. I think there's almost 52 people on that list. Of those 52, I regularly have back and forth communication with Keith Allen, Dennis Campbell, Stacey Perry, Amanda Lawson, Lorna, who's new, who has also recently joined KWYP, which I love.
Oh, awesome.
Michelle Kung, Lisa Whitman, Yvette Carey, and Mike Bonds. Those people I consistently have back and forth communication with.
Have you talked to the Baptist boy?
I have texted him consecutively every week, and I keep notes also. It's in the Google Drive. So if anyone wants to see it, like I take notes whether I text them, if they responded back, or how that all has gone. Some fun things, he has never texted me back. Sandra Madden got her first buyer, so yay for her.
Yeah.
She also did not know that PC and recordings had been happening, so she's been directed to the YouTube page so she can catch the recordings. Dwayne Smith had surgery last month in February. He is, nope, that would be, yeah, February. He's doing better, looking forward to coming back in. And Lorna now has.
So with the Smith, did we send him anything?
No, because no one knew. I did not know. Since he told me he had surgery, I have continued to just check in on him. Hey, I hope you're still doing well in your recovery.
We like maybe pitch in $5 and send him like a gift card and or some flowers or you know what I mean?
Since now we know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How you know Lisa Whitman came was from Coldwell,
I did not know she came.
and then
from
she's been a producing agent in the past.
I did, yeah, no, I know that, but she's just, you know.
She's my most experienced person.
But she's also one, you know, she just reaches out and is like, thank you so much, I appreciate, you know, like, Wellness April, I sent out the calendar, hey, don't forget this, or, you know, just really trying to get people in here. I know that she works during the day. She's also funny, she accidentally sent me her KW app as a follow-up, like got my number mixed up with someone else's. And I was like, hey, I love that follow-up. And she was like, oh my God, I didn't mean to send that to you. But just being consistent with these people. Now, the people who have never responded, I'm gonna take a week break because I don't want to just continue to bombard people.
Are you reaching out to
Okay.
Ashley Cooper?
I'm reaching out to Ashley Cooper.
Has she ever responded?
No. She is
So before I go, I mean, this is just off the top of my head, I don't know, I've been having these weird feelings today. Maybe, invite them in for the events. You know, like say, welcome home, or welcome back. We're doing all these television shows now, right?
Mhm.
But, you know, just a reintroduction, you know, have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like to do an Earth Day event because that is next Friday.
next Friday. No, I'm joking.
I think so. But yeah, so it would be like really like last minute, but maybe if we could do something maybe like growth oriented, plant some seeds, and then both physical seeds for plants, and then also like plant the seeds of progress for their real
That's a
estate
great
career.
idea. Like, we could go buy some seeds from Home Depot, and that's the plant the seed, right? And have them come in, you know, like make little, you know, $2 bags for them with seeds and, you know, something in there like that.
Talk about growth.
Talk about growth.
It has to be in the
There you go.
evening though,
Okay.
because a lot of these people are the
Right.
dual career, and that's why they can't have the different events.
That's perfect.
Maybe something
Look out
like
on
5
growth.
to 8 or something.
Yeah.
Let's grow together.
Yeah.
Let's grow together.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Shoot, you want to say?
Look at you.
You're not so loud about this.
Got a job.
Real quick, also from my reaching out some requests, Christina Sharbach, I don't know if I said her last name right. She came into the pep rally, so it was great to see her. She asked if we could get some type of office/leadership directory, who is who, what their role is, like who to go to. She didn't know who Doug was. She hasn't been in the office, so you know, something along those lines. Michelle Kung had asked if we could do, you know, if certain agents service specific areas, if we could have that kind of in a working doc, like agents helping agents. She's in the Greenfield, Greensburg area, so if there's any agents out there, she would love to be able to
Or she would
connect.
talk to Doug, and they close, so that's.
Yeah,
Ain't
connect out
that-
there,
Isn't it Greensburg and Altoona?
What's up?
Greensburg.
What about it?
How close is it to Altoona?
Not close. Greensburg is close to us.
It's like
Altoona is
Monroeville-ish.
close to State College.
Yeah.
So Greensburg is right past Monroeville on 22.
Then it's Johnstown.
But just,
Yeah.
you know, if there was something, like just a live doc, so she could see, oh, this person works on here, maybe that person can help me out.
Okay.
And then Yvette had reached out, and her biggest issue right now, admittedly, is fear and having those conversations. So seeing some more scripted role play, like gathering in, hey guys, we're doing a
Because
scripted role play.
she thought that I was tag teaming after you, because the same day you called her, I called her that evening, right?
Yeah,
And I was like, she's like, well, Ollie called him in my brain. Man, you know, my wrist was twisted. I was like, who the hell is Ollie? And then she said it again. I said, oh, but I didn't say it to her. I was like, oh, that's so nice.
yeah.
But it took a minute.
Who the heck?
That's just like when you text me, I was like, what is Ollie? Not because I didn't think it was you.
Yeah.
I thought it was I was like, why is he texting me? Didn't you just fire me last week?
Oh my God. So, yeah, those are just a few action items that some people have requested.
That's great.
Yeah. So I think if we can get those things done, you know, here, you asked, I asked you what you needed, you told me, and here it is.
Yeah.
I think that's
That'll be really encouraging for them.